By now, we have all heard about the realities of the up-and-coming climate crisis. Many scientists are even suggesting that this crisis may be already here. We are all familiar with the images of climate change. Natural disasters such as wildfires and hurricanes, oceans filled with plastic, smokestacks emitting dangerous carbons, and landfills teeming with garbage. But what if I told you that one of the largest contributors to the global climate crisis is not only in our own homes, but literally under our noses and on our plates? Food waste has quickly become a major problem when it comes to climate change. The United States is currently the global leader in food waste, with around 40% of the US food supply being wasted. This means that over 80 billion pounds of food are ending up in US landfills every year. Here at these landfills, this food becomes packed in so tightly that it can only be broken down through a process that releases methane, a greenhouse gas that is 28 times more potent than CO2. In fact, if global food waste was considered its own country, it would rank third in the world in carbon emissions, only behind China and the US. While these numbers are overwhelming, we really get the idea of how wasteful we are when we look at what this means for us as a town here in Westfield, New Jersey. The average person wastes around 219 pounds of food every year. This means that in Westfield, with a population of over 30,000 people, we throw out around 6.6 million pounds of food every year. To compare, the largest animal on Earth, the blue whale, weighs around 220,000 pounds. This means that we are throwing away over 30 whales worth of food every year. With the average household also wasting over $1,600 worth of food annually, this means that as a town, we are wasting over $16 million worth of food every year. This waste also takes up a ton of space, making up over 22% of the municipal solid waste that we produce. So the question becomes, how can we, as individual citizens of Westfield, help to break the cycle of food waste? There are several actions that individuals can take to reduce the amount of waste that they are producing, beginning with reevaluating your food behaviors. First, we need to evaluate the way we buy food. Nowadays, supermarkets are set up to try and get you to spend more money on food that you may not actually need. Big box stores, specials, and discounts can cause shoppers to fill their carts with extra food on the promise of value, but this extra food can often go uneaten before it goes bad. We can improve the way that we shop for food by having a plan when we go to the store. By knowing what you need prior to shopping and only buying those items in the amounts that you need, you can begin to reduce the amount of wasted food you are creating before even leaving the store. Second, we have to evaluate the way that we are storing the food that we bring home. Improper storage of food can not only be dangerous, as it can promote bacteria and mold to grow on the food that can make you sick, but also can make food spoil quicker. By understanding how different foods need to be stored, you can actually extend their shelf life. Freezing food is also a great way to extend food from spoiling if you are worried about not having the chance to eat it before it goes bad. It is also important to understand the issues with food labeling systems such as best by or sell-by dates. While you might view these as expiration dates, most foods, if stored properly, will still be more than okay to eat after these dates, and do not immediately need to be thrown away. Of course, use your best judgment to avoid getting sick. Third, we need to adjust the way that we prepare foods. When prepping meals, we can often be more wasteful than it seems. Often, we trim away more food than is necessary for food scraps that end up finding their way into the trash. We also tend to cook more than we can eat. This can lead to taking larger portions, which, if not finished, can lead to more waste if not saved as leftovers. By being more intentional with preparing foods, we can cut back on food scraps and reduce food waste by creating more suitable portions. Next, we need to view leftovers as more of a resource than we currently do. By saving excess food instead of tossing it, we gain access to an easy meal in the future. By trying to save food and being creative in how we use it, we can save a lot from making its way to landfills. Again, the freezer is your best friend when it comes to saving leftovers that may not be eaten in the next few days. Finally, we need to start considering how we process food waste. While we have looked at a few ways to reduce food waste, some level of food waste is inevitable. What we do with this food waste, however, can make a huge difference for us and the environment. One of the first things that you can do with food waste is separating it out from the rest of the waste that you produce. After doing this, you can either use it in a composting setup if space allows, or save it for an organic waste pickup or drop-off program. While individual action can help cut down on waste, you might be wondering, how can Westfield residents make reducing food waste a collective effort? The answer is, you can participate in an existing program set up in town to remove organic waste from the waste stream. Westfield was one of the first towns in Union County, New Jersey, to collect food waste. Residents can bring any type of food waste to the town's conservation center, where the dedicated bins are set up near the recycling sheds. All types of food waste are acceptable, including vegetables, fruits, meats, seafood with the exception of shells, dairy, and grains. Food waste can be delivered to the bin in any type of packaging except for glass containers and black plastic bags. The best news about saving and disposing of your food at the Westfield Conservation Center is that this food waste is not wasted. In fact, Westfield's organic waste is transported locally to an NJ Core facility. The Core process is an organic recycling process that converts food waste into EBS, which is an organic slurry product that is used to generate green energy. Core delivers this product to municipal wastewater facilities, allowing these facilities to run much more sustainably in their processes of turning wastewater back into usable water. The Westfield area effort is part of a wave creating a new industry and economy not only around food waste, but also green energy. While this program is certainly a great start in trying to reduce food waste as a town, there is certainly more that can be done in the future. We need to continue to push to change consumer behavior. We can't forget that reducing food waste starts at home. We also need to expand the capacity of the current program. The Westfield Conservation Center can only accommodate for 96 gallons of waste each week at this point, which is simply not enough given the amount of waste that we are currently producing as a town. Finally, we should try and make it easier to gather food waste. For example, Woodbridge Township in our area has a program that picks up food waste with a specialized organic waste vehicle, which is then delivered to the Core facility every day of the week. If we can make it easier for residents to reduce waste, the more likely people will be to participate. As we have seen, food waste poses a major threat to the environment as we are drawing ever closer to a climate emergency. We here in Westfield must work individually as well as collectively to do everything in our power to reduce food waste before it's too late. While we are currently on the right path, by taking further action, we can lead the way into a food waste-free future.